Well, you're probably thinking, why the hell am I watching a bunch of swans for? And the answer to this is, well, I'm learning an ancient hunting technique which I like to call incorporation. And if you haven't already guessed, Chuchi, that's me under the swan decoy. But this video is not about teaching you how to catch swans. That would be far too easy. I'm going to show you how to catch wild ducks barehanded. Well, apart from having too much time on my hands, this technique has drawn me closer to the understanding of social behaviours of water birds. Not only have I made a bunch of new feathery friends, I have also had to fight off angry territorial swans. But I guess my smooth approach and unmoving neck has really caught the attention of the ladies. Yee! So, just to give you some sense of an idea of what I'm seeing here in the flock of native water birds, my eyes become yours. Honestly, after a while out here, you start to feel like you're one of them and a part of the social gathering. Now, for a bit of behavioural science. From my observations, I've learnt that different species of water birds will have different spacing arrangements between themselves. Swans, for example, will keep a distance of about 20 to 40 centimetres from each other. Ducks will also have a similar distance from one another. However, intraspecies relationships differ depending on the species. I've noticed that ducks will keep a distance of about half a metre to a metre from swans. This is all relative to the volume and the expanse of the waterway. If the water body is small and narrow, such as a creek or a stream, the less dominant species will have less tolerance to the proximity of the alpha species. This is where I want your mind to go. Now, before we get started, I need a little bit of assistance, and I know just the person for the job. Laura Zerra.
We're focusing our attention on creeks and streams, which have a smaller volume of water passing through and will make our job of funneling ducks much easier. By using a natural bottleneck created by a fallen tree, we're able to anticipate the most likely path of travel the ducks will take when moving up the stream, and now need to set up a net over this path. It's important to use a net with fine enough filament that it won't raise suspicion in the animal. However, some species of duck are more sensitive to changes in their natural environment and will be wary to approach anything unnatural. It is important to place weights on your net to make sure he doesn't fly off with it. It is also important to work with a professional team member who can communicate effectively and efficiently to get the job done.
Andrew,
Huh?
where are the weights?
They're over there, you big good.
I need more direction than over here.
On the bank next to the grass. Quack, quack, quack. Alright, Gigi. Now, I'm using plastic duck decoys. And the reason is, well, see, ducks are sociable animals. And the whole design and whole strategy about placing decoys is you're trying to attract the ducks in. However, what I'm trying to do here is I'm actually trying to build the complacency within the animal that there's ducks downstream. And the complacency within the animal that, hey, it's safe to move through this exact channel. As soon as that ducky over there sees there's other ducks down here, he's going to feel more secure. However, there is a bit of a strategy when placing duck decoys. You can't just throw them off into the water, where it takes a little bit of intelligence. So generally what I like to do is I've got some Pacific black ducks, which are these decoys here. I've got a bit of a weight system. And what I'll do is I'm thinking, now you've got to start thinking like a duck. And this is one of the hardest things. So generally what I'm trying to think, see, ducks have got amazing vision. So I'm going to place this around about here. There, I want that to have too much of a swivel on it. About there. What that will do, so by placing it like this, what's naturally going to happen is this will turn around Wait, bring him on this way. I'm really just trying to get into the duck's mind exactly what he's going to be seeing.
The next step in this process is to identify the location from which you're going to emerge. It's important to be in a location where you can put the appropriate pressure on and reach the animal quickly. To remain undetected, you need to become invisible in your environment, camouflaging in perfectly so that it will be impossible for the duck to spot you as he passes by.
Get him under control.
How was that? How was that? How was that? Oh shit. Oh shit. Can you get him under control? He's under control. He's under control. He's under control.
Settle.
Man, what took you so long? I'm so cold.
Got him good. Okay. Beautiful. Good look. Good look. That's a beautiful duck, isn't it? Yes. Well, this guy here is known, settle, is known as the beautiful mallard duck. And it's funny because, well,
I know him very well. We have these guys, actually, we have a lot in common. We both came to Australia from America. Orange feet, really characteristic of the mallard duck. He's got this little collar here, and he's just beautiful. We have these guys all over the US, and I'm really cold right now. But he's not, because he has this amazing insulating layer of feathers.
Let me go. I'm gonna give a close up. Okay. I'm freezing. Let me just turn like this way. And that there is the mallard duck. Now, having said this.
Oh, you think you're cold? You know how long I was following him for? He went up into the bank, and then he came back down.
Did you see the female?
I didn't see any other duck, but all I could see was like this. But he hung out like here, and I was really worried that he wasn't going to go in the net.
Yeah.
And then he did.
It was funny because on the second corner there was 2 other female mallards, and then they took off, and then I thought he was going to take off.
I heard him calling. I heard him start calling.
Yeah. Oh, so it went around. That's it. That's it. So, I think it's funny that the mallard ducks are actually introduced here in Australia, and there's been a bit of a problem.
Like pretty much every other horrible ecological disaster of introducing species into Australia, the mallard was really bad because there's a species of duck here, the black duck, and they actually interbreed. The females are similar enough that they interbreed, but this is really bad because...
The Pacific black duck, didn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Pacific black duck. Did I say that?
Yes.
The Pacific black duck. Anyway, with the interbreeding of the mallards and the Pacific black ducks, you have problems because you're going to lose this native species. It's already been lost in New Zealand, and here it's a big issue.
It's on the verge. You know, I think at the end of the day, I'm too cold. I can't even talk.
Oh yeah, I know. It's not as big of a problem here because they're hanging out mostly in suburban areas. So you're finding these guys a lot of times by areas of population, people kind of in dams or in
botanical gardens, in golf courses, things like that. The funny thing about these ducks, and in ducks in particular, this is more to do with the hunting sides of things, right? In terms of the strategy, is ducks have an average sense of hearing. Their sense of smell is very poor. Their eyesight at night time is absolutely terrible. However, in the daytime, a duck can see 10 times better than you can. Literally, they've got, I think, twice as many rods and cones, I think, in their eyes than that compared to humans. So they can actually pick out colours that we can't even pick out. It's even been said by some researchers that they can actually pick out ultraviolet light. So it becomes a bit of a quest for people to actually hunt ducks, because it's very tricky to actually outsmart the duck, and you could see the amount of effort that you've got to go through in camouflaging yourself, because the duck will pick you out by the
I think he was more concerned.
Just like the white part. What's the white part? You know what I call?
The white of the eye?
No, it's called not the cornea. The iris.
No.
What's
the
it called?
Iris is the coloured part.
Yeah. What's the white part?
The black part.
What's the white part called?
I don't know. It's the white of an egg.
Anyway, if you look at your eyes and you see the contrast between brown and white, or whether it be blue and white, or hazel and white, a duck can actually pick that out very, 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 very easy. Having said that, when Laura was disguised in there, she had to keep her eyes shut.
I was mostly concerned because animals pick out the fact that you're a predator because your eyes are in the front of their face. If they can see 2 eyes looking at them, they know that that's not good and they're getting the hell out of there. Being tucked away in here, I had a really...
You keep talking, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting underwater. So you keep talking.
Awesome. So, you're just taking the duck, and for some reason he's making me stand here, and he's really pulled in and talking to you. But yeah, being hidden there,